Hello and welcome to another episode of Scope. I'm Tracy Pa. For 8 months, the picturesque island of Lavongai in New Ireland province was a battleground. From January to August 2024, hundreds of youths and men clashed with each other in North Lavongai, killing one from each side, injuring countless more and burning down the homes of innocent residents. Families were forced to flee their homes. Women and children hide in mangrove swamps for hours every day while the 2024 academic year was suspended for the rest of the year. Carmella Gware visited Patipai community over the Christmas holidays for an insight into the suffering and devastation and two families struggle for normalcy amidst the lack of law and order.
In January 2024, a domestic disagreement between a couple in Ward 6 of North Lavongai in New Ireland Province escalated into 8 long months of fighting. Patipai community leader and a member of the peace community, Leslie William, said the dispute was between a woman from Tikasia village and her partner from Vaisavambam. The woman's relatives got involved and chased away her partner, resulting in retaliation from the Vaisavambam men who burnt down a house.
Fight kami go beyond control. We got all house been fire. We got two plamani die, one from each party. Even got every ocean, all families all been run away, all stuck inside long bush, all marry one tamon pikinini. Even all mantu na sabda all heavy all some schools from me pa suspend and no more conducting classes no pa been suspend for the whole of last year.
Fighting had initially started in Ward 6 but soon spread to Ward 3, specifically the villages of Metiai, Volulu and Atnar. Fighting spread to the areas where it was believed their youths had taken sides. Villagers had to make the 2-hour dinghy ride to mainland KVN to plead for assistance as all the telecommunication towers on the island had been destroyed following royalty disagreements in 2010. Unfortunately, the Royal PNG Constabulary Northern Lavongai Rural LLG were willing to assist. The result was devastating for the many families living there, like Tiling Mailik Darius, a mother of 4, 3 of whom are young women. Tiling Mailik, or Tiling, fled into the hinterlands of Patipai with her husband and 4 children, with nothing but a few possessions that they had hastily grabbed.
Sila paiti kamat ni play no himon blarong. Ni play stop no mol gasol oli to ni kam na oli para pimaus blomi pla oli karimol kita something pot plate na all kita something block kitchen oli karim na senis. Si mi play run away mi play go stop lo bus. Play go stop lo bus to pla week. Play go stop lo bus to pla week. Okay, biyahin lo to pla week na mi play come back.
While in the bush, the families survived on sago and wild ferns as their gardens had also been destroyed and they could not risk being seen fishing. A similar fate had befallen Tolani Lawrence and his young family, who had fled into the bushes with Tilling's family. The two families had 2 tarpaulins to share, a small one for the men and a bigger one for the women and children. Both families shared that their first 2 weeks in the bush were difficult, as they had to chase away insects, frogs, and even snakes. To this day, they see that they are on their own, with no one to support them, especially when it comes to law and order.
Mi bless let lo place kanon sem law and order lo place strong. Kanon ako sem lo tao nambao tem mi luki mo sem policy round Lo and order is strong. So mi plalo peles na no caster. Lo ailanem bimas amas tausen ol gata ol manigday nating na. Ino atun pla look sa velo gatman ol by LP mi pla. I got gatman stop iken LP mi gasol. Ol se mo lo mi pla lo ples ikatol. Ol maus man ma blo makin mi pla lo peles. Yel so kisimol. Alright lo gatman nakam din service lo man lo ples sampla time ol se. LP mi pla ol man lo ples good pla sampla time no gat.
The two families now refuse to leave their new homes, which they are still building, saying it is better to separate themselves from the community in case another problem is brought to their doorsteps. Patipai member of the peace community, Leslie William, highlighted that law and order in New Island province needs to be prioritized.
Police presence long island, even long province on gata mi tamlo ko. So, by the time ito sa long time heavy will start with province travel along provincial police headquarters Bougainville, but the reply me plus sa kisin mo sa police post 2 and inogatin na manpower na to isa to inogat resource inogat fuel long antaren LP mo but what we making and community me play community leaders or school leaders we play partner one kamo peace committees Bougainville, communities we play raising some valuable funds we play ti donating na we play din inaplonggo karon mas pa policeman tasor we come down tripla policeman minute long leadership long nila na we play din naplong ham na tokto one kamo wala commanders long tupla patis na libin alright lo mi plalo bami play mas gat peace treaty mas kamat na nila tuplakan.
In time, the new school year is well underway. Unfortunately, children on New Hanover have not been able to fully complete their education. Tilling's third eldest daughter, Makan Tilling Rangai, repeated grade 7 3 times in a row. She is already 20 years old. Families in Lavongai had hoped that when this academic year resumes, their children can repeat their respective levels of education again.
After the break, we travel with Miss Bird of Paradise, May Hasola, in her journey to the Miss Pacific Islands Pageant. Another occasion that brought many Papua New Guineans together and recognized young women in PNG who are empowering others on many platforms, including education, humanitarian work, and the PNG culture. In the heart of the Pacific, where the land is as rich in culture as it is in beauty, one young woman embarks on a journey that not only defines her, but the people she represents. May Torowi Hasola, a law student and reigning Miss Bird of Paradise, steps into a world where the weight of her country's heritage and the dreams of her people rest on her shoulders. From beautiful Bougainville to the bright stage of the Miss Pacific Island Pageant, her remains determined, passionate, and unyieldingly committed to her roots.
In the heart of the Pacific, there is a young woman on a mission to represent her people, carrying with her the hopes and dreams of an entire nation. May, born in the autonomous region of Bougainville, is no stranger to responsibility. As a second-year law student and the reigning Miss Bird of Paradise PNG, her journey has been one of growth, learning, and above all, deep connection to her roots.
I have a brother, an older brother. It was crazy. We would fight all the time, but we're best friends now, so I think it worked out okay. Family support has been immense over my the pageant journey, and it's just increased with the crown, getting the crown and the responsibilities I have. My family, they're really understanding, they're really supportive. They've done a great job in just giving me my space and allowing me to grow, and just being in this space, I have to be really independent, and I'm really grateful that my mom, she used to be with me everywhere before, and now she's really given me that space to grow, and my dad too, being his only daughter, he was really overprotective. So I'm really grateful to him and my mom. They've really given me this space to grow and to try new things and to meet new people.
For May, the road to Miss Pacific Islands began with the Miss Bird of Paradise competition, an iconic event that celebrates the beauty and strength of women in Papua New Guinea. But for May, this competition meant more than that. It was about leading by example.
So along this journey, I would say one of the most inspirational people I've met would be Estelle Walters. She's the owner of Villa Studio. So meeting her for the first time, I didn't even know who she was. She's so humble and so down to earth, and she's really taught me how important it is to be hardworking, to be committed, and to always be selfless and to help other people.
Paradise Boutique was inspired to sponsor and support Miss May Hasola on her Miss Bird of Paradise journey because of her strong commitment to advocating and standing up for strong family values in Papua New Guinea. When I first met May, I was immediately drawn to her beautiful spirit and personality. She really carries herself with grace, confidence, and just genuine kindness that is really hard to find these days in a young woman. And her passion for empowering others and dedication to making a positive impact aligned perfectly with the values of Paradise Boutique. Supporting May really was more than just sponsorship. It was more of an investment into an educated, intelligent, and talented young Papua New Guinean woman who we strongly know has the potential to inspire and uplift many others around her.
As May's platform grew, so did her influence. She became an example of inspiration for young women across Papua New Guinea, encouraging them to embrace their uniqueness and to be proud of their heritage. With the pageant just around the corner, May's preparations took on a new level of intensity. The pressure to represent not only her family, but her entire country was mounting. But for May, the real challenge was balancing her studies, her commitment as Miss Bird of Paradise, and her preparations for one of the most prestigious pageants in the Pacific.
So we've had almost a month and a few weeks to prepare, but despite time constraints, we have a really strong team. I have so many people who are really good in their spaces, prominent people who are doing really well. They've come on board to help. And for me, I think that's the biggest blessing for me, just having people who are willing to give their time and their effort and their ideas also.
Dagia Aka, alongside the dedicated team, has played a pivotal role in guiding the young lass through her transformative journey, offering both mentorship and heartfelt support every step of the way. And so, with her heart full of pride and her mind focused on the task ahead, May flew to the Solomon Islands. The journey was just beginning. This was only the first step toward a transformative experience.
When we come back, we conclude this episode in the Solomon Islands, where the Miss Pacific Islands Pageant unfolds, and the Miss Bird of Paradise shines for Papua New Guinea and the many women who are pursuing dreams and equal opportunities in all aspects of life. As the spotlight shines bright on the stage of the Miss Pacific Islands Pageant, May Hasola takes her place among the finest young women of the Pacific. For her, this is more than a competition. It's a moment to honor her culture, her country, and the legacy of her people. With every step, every graceful movement, she carries the spirit of Papua New Guinea. Though the night may not crown her as queen, her journey culminates in a powerful tribute to leadership and a recognition that speaks louder than any title ever could.
In Honiara, May joined her fellow contestants from across the Pacific, each one bringing her own unique story, dreams, and culture. Together, they formed a sisterhood, united by the spirit of competition and camaraderie. And among those watching with immense pride and support was a mentor who once stood in May's shoes, Sharon Onza, crowned Miss PNG in 1993. In this poignant moment, Sharon, now a guide and mentor to May, reflects on the significance of May's achievement and what it means for the legacy of Papua New Guinea women in the pageant world.
It has been a wonderful privilege to have become the chaperone for our current Miss Bird of Paradise Papua New Guinea, May Hasola. I started this journey with May when I was asked by her mother, Anastasia, who was a classmate in high school. So we spent year 7 to year 10 together in Bougainville. And when she asked me one Sunday, could you please be May's chaperone? And I was honored by that request by her mum, because the mum said, I've never done this sort of a thing before, and you being a former Miss Papua New Guinea and already understanding and you know how it feels to be in a pageant, can you be her chaperone? And I accepted without any hesitation as well, because I knew that me mentoring a young woman from Bougainville would be like icing on the cake for me again in 2024, with everything that's happening back in Bougainville as well, and us looking for ways to empower, develop, and create activity for our young people, especially our young women in Bougainville. I thought, well, what a wonderful platform now to use for that, in mentoring and empowering this young woman who wants to be a contestant in the Miss Bird of Paradise Papua New Guinea. It has been a very, very good journey, an exciting one, an adventurous one at times as well for us both. But I'm so privileged to have had this opportunity to take her on this journey for her self-finding, doing what she has dreamt of doing almost all her young life, I believe. And she's now here in this space that she's now the ambassador for women in Papua New Guinea, and giving everybody, and especially as well for Bougainville, but for Bougainville women, our young Bougainvillean women who can look up to her as an ambassador, to also believe that they can become anything they want to become.
Sharon, who wore the crown over 2 decades ago, understands the weight of the title and the responsibility that comes with it. Having witnessed May's growth firsthand, Sharon shares her thoughts on what it takes to excel not only as a beauty queen, but as an ambassador, a leader, and a role model for young women across Papua New Guinea and the Pacific region.
My advice to her every day, and I remind her of this every day, is to be grateful. Number one, for her life, because if without life she cannot be able to achieve anything else. Be grateful for the support of her family. Be grateful for the achievements she's already now achieved in her life to this day. And also to always remember that she represents the over millions of women, or we've got over 10 million people in Papua New Guinea. She is that representative. She is that ambassador. She is that face that people look up to, especially young girls her age, especially women who want their daughters as well to go in that space for pageantry, to always remember that no matter what, no matter what space you're in, wherever you are at, you're always going to be the face of Papua New Guinea. So you must carry yourself very well, very gracefully, be presentable, and always turn up for the people of Papua New Guinea.
At the Miss Pacific Islands Pageant, May's sarong presentation was nothing short of spectacular. Each look, carefully crafted to represent a different aspect of leadership, captivated the judges and the audience alike. Her final look, inspired by the Regina bird of paradise, symbolized unity, collaboration, and the strength found in diversity. As she stood there, draped in these stunning garments, the crowd could feel the power of her message.
The journey has been really transformative. I've learned a lot coming from the Miss Bird of Paradise pageant going into the Miss South Pacific pageant. It's been one of growth, and the challenges that I have faced have empowered me to be a better person. It's allowed me to grow, and I think that's just the beauty of being in this pageant space and having that space to be able to grow and to make mistakes and to just learn from all the other people around you.
Though she didn't take home the crown, May's tribute to her culture and heritage left an indelible mark. She won the prestigious Sarong Award, a recognition of the depth and meaning behind her presentation. The culmination of the Miss Pacific Islands pageant was bittersweet for May. Though she didn't win the crown, she walked away with something far more important: the admiration of her fellow contestants, the love of her country, and the powerful Sarong Award that would be a testament to her journey.
In the Miss Pacific pageant, it was such a humbling experience for me because I got to meet so many different women from different countries coming together to celebrate our culture, to celebrate being one Pacific region. Just gaining the admiration is so humbling to me because I look up to every single one of them, and each of them has brought something different to the competition. And being one of the youngest, I've learned so much from each and every one of them. So I'm so humbled that they see me in that light and that I was able to make an impact in their life also. Winning the Sarong Award it was honestly such an honor because Papua New Guinea, we've been winning the Sarong Award for a couple of years now, and it meant so much to me because that sarong, I dedicated it to the late Sir Julius Chan, and to be able to win and to be able to celebrate his life and everything he has done for us to be here in this 50th year was so humbling to me. And being a young girl in this 50th year and winning that award, it represented so much more than just winning. It represented to me the hope that we have for our country going forward. So coming back to PNG, I have gained a new perspective on how I see our country. Representing us at the Miss Pacific pageant, it's allowed me to gain a more patriotic kind of feeling towards my country and to our people, our cultures. The main thing for me now is to continue to foster that unity that we have. For this 50th year, we are trying to host different pageants in the different provinces, and the girls who win in those provinces come to represent to be the new Miss Bird of Paradise. So I think for me, just fostering that unity and to continue to show our young women that we can do it and we are strong and we can continue to weave the fabric of our next 50 years, that would be my next mission. Yes.
The story of May Hasola's journey to the Miss Pacific Islands pageant is one that fits perfectly into the rich and evolving history of Miss PNG title holders. From the pioneering Miss Eva Ani, who made history by winning the Miss Asia title in 1975, to modern-day women like May, each holder of the Miss PNG crown has carried the mantle of not only beauty, but also resilience, strength, and cultural pride. The women of this legacy have continued to break barriers, from earning international recognition to raising funds for important causes, all while proudly representing the diverse and vibrant cultures of Papua New Guinea. In every era, the Miss PNG title has been a platform for empowering women to lead with purpose, whether through charity work, cultural advocacy, or as a voice for their people. As May's journey culminates in her Sarong Award win and the incredible honor of representing her nation at the Miss Pacific Islands Pageant, it's clear that she stands as part of this long and proud tradition. Her experience and achievements radiate inspiration and hope for women who will follow on in her footsteps.
If you have any interesting story you'd like to share with Scope, send us an email. You can also watch the return of this episode on our YouTube page. Until next Sunday, I'm Tracy Pa. See you then.